Hey, I'm Brian Van, SportbikeTracker.com, and today we're going to break down the all-new AGV K1 full-face helmet. The AGV K1 retails from $179 up to $249. The high end of the spectrum, the $249, and get yourself into a kick-ass Rossi graphic just like this one. As you go down towards the $179, we're looking at the basic graphics, the solid colors like that. Before I dive in any deeper, I just want to say I've had this here in the shop for over a week. I've worn it a ton. I've not ridden it yet. It's really shitty out here in Michigan. I only ride if it's nice out. You need to know that. Worn it a lot, torn it apart, put it back together multiple times. And I really like this helmet. I think it provides a tremendous amount of value at this price point. And that's something that we always look for, great products that have great prices. Who is this right for? This is clearly designed for sport bike riders. Street riders, absolutely. Would we recommend this for the track? Well, it is ECE 2205 and DOT certified. If you look into AGV's history, the sharp tests over there in the UK, they're not 100% relevant here for the US. But considering that they don't make Snell 2015 helmets for the US market, it is fairly relevant. Their thermoplastic resin shell helmets like this would typically get 4-star ratings, which is pretty solid, okay? Yes, I think if this is your budget for a track helmet, I think this would be a good option for you as well. Weight, 3.65 pounds on our shipping scale here at STG. So, relatively lightweight, and it's really about what you're seeing with most helmets out there in this size. Fit. I measure 58 centimeters on the money, intermediate oval head shape. This helmet is built to an intermediate oval shape. Per their size chart, I would be in a medium large. That's the size we brought in. I've worn it here quite a bit, and I get a really good fit from it. I would say that the size chart was accurate, and the head shape itself is accurate. Furthermore, they use 2 different shell sizes, okay? I think it's going to break at the medium small, maybe at the medium large, but then they are using 4 different EPSs to tune the internal shape and size of the helmet. It's also built as a 4 density EPS. So like we talked about with impact management, when you're using that thermoplastic shell instead of maybe a more expensive higher end fiber-based shell, you're able to do things with the EPS to make sure that it still manages energy quite well. Okay, glasses compatibility. This is billed as being compatible with glasses. And you can see, there is a little bit of effort required to get them in there, but once I do have the glasses in, they are absolutely sitting on the bridge of my nose, no problem. So I would say yes, these are compatible with most glasses out there. While we were shooting this video, Caleb's like, man, how can they charge $1,000 or $1,500 for one of those Pista GPs when this looks so much similar? Well, this is an old Corsa of mine, right? This is one of the I think the first gen, and I really did enjoy this helmet. This stuff now, the Corsa R, Pista GP R, still very similar to this. Check it out. Let's look at the difference in overall shell size, and that's what happens when you're using different materials, okay? And this helmet is, of course, lighter, okay? But with the K1, it's just going to take more EPS and more material to manage the energy in a crash. So we have a little bit bigger exterior profile. But beyond that, there are a lot of similarities between these two. They've added that spoiler that has exhaust vents integrated into it. Most importantly, ventilation, which is one of the key features of any helmet, right? Check it out. I mean, the scheme between these two helmets is very, very similar. We have the 2 intake vents here in the chin, right there. We have the 3 up top here at the brow. Okay, we don't have the same exact exhaust ventilation scheme, but lots of airflow is what you can expect with this helmet. Looking at the shield, they also built in, because this is more of a street-based helmet, I think, for most riders. If you want the shield cracked, maybe you need to clear just a little bit of fog and you don't want it all the way up, just push up on that tab to switch the vents on and off up here. The brow, very simple. Nice action. Everything feels good, feels like it's quality. The shield itself, too, the detents, they feel strong. It feels really sturdy. To switch the vents on and off here, in the chin area, there is a switch, and I'll show you this in a little more detail later on once we remove the chin curtain. There is your chin curtain, double D-ring retention system. I like that. And look at the fabrics, man. These fabrics do feel really good against the skin. Stuff's super soft. It's moisture wicking stuff. This is just such a really impressive piece. It is designed to take universal Bluetooth communicators too. I'll show you the speaker pockets once we have the entire helmet disassembled. So it really has all the features and benefits that everybody's looking for. There are differences with the more expensive unit, but the price is exponentially different. To remove the shield, you want to lift it all the way in the upwardmost position and then just pull down right here. Try and show you that a little more clearly. Push down right here and it just pops right out. To reinstall it, once again, get it in that upwardmost position and it just kind of drops right in to the channel. A little pressure. Get that upper clip in. Little pressure, always check your work. This is a Pinlock ready shield. It does not ship with a Pinlock insert. There is one available. It is sold separate. So if you want that true fog-free performance, you are going to have to step up. I think the insert was somewhere in the $30, $40 range. Jimmy's adding that to the website right now. So if that's something that's important to you, that's there. It also comes with a couple of different shield ratchets. If you want to change the detents, like this one would just be open or closed. This one would change the feel of the detents a little bit. I think they'd be a little bit softer, right? Not quite as strong as they are right now. I'm not exactly sure why you would want to do that, but you have the ability to do that as well. Okay, now let's take this thing apart and just give you a closer look from the inside out. You can really tell a lot about a helmet when you take it apart and look at the internals. Another important note here on the shield. This helmet uses two different sized shields, okay? If you have an extra small through a medium small, an MS, you're going to use the GT2-1 shield. If you have the medium large through the 2XL, you're going to use the standard GT2 shield. We have that all noted on the website, okay, so if it seems a little bit confusing, if you're going to buy a tinted shield, that is something you need to know. The field of vision on this, I would also say, is excellent. You know, I haven't had a chance to ride in it yet, but it does look like it's going to be good in a tuck, so on and so forth. So I think we have a good field of vision with this helmet. To remove the chin curtain, you want to get your thumb underneath it. Make sure you grab onto the plastic base and not the fabric itself. The cheek pads and the neck roll are all one piece. We have 3 snaps on each side that are holding that in place. Go ahead and get your fingers in between the back of the cheek pad and the EPS. Once you've done that, the neck roll is ready to come out. You can kind of grab it up here at the front. Kind of give it a wiggle and a tug all at the same time. Let's go ahead and give you a look at that. You can see it does show eyewear compatible. And they have it basically just cut out in that position. Fabrics look really good. They're really comfortable against your skin. The top pad, we have 2 snaps here at the very back. In the front, we have 2 snaps, and there is a little piece of Velcro in the center. Give you a look at the top pad. Now I'm going to critique it. Here's one thing I found with a helmet that I just, man, I'm like, really love the helmet. Just one tiny little thing. If you look right here in the brow, can you see that, Caleb? It is a piece of Velcro. Got it? That holds the center portion of the crown liner instead of having another snap there, because the snap is something maybe you would feel the snap. A couple of times when I put the helmet on, right, you know, I could kind of feel, you know, some of the scratchy stuff here from the Velcro on my forehead. I repositioned it real quick and that went away, but that is just something I wanted to make note of in case you happen to notice that as well. I don't think it's really a big deal, because you do need to remember this is more of a price point helmet. Yes, it's a really good price point helmet that derives a lot of technology from some very expensive helmets, but still, it's a price point helmet. Here is the on-off switch for the chin bar vent right here. That is a super cool feature, nice and hidden. I dig that. Double D ring retention system. It does have pockets built in. If you want to add a universal communicator, let's see if I can get that. Can you get that right there? They're molded right into the EPS, so this should take most of the units that are on the market today. If you look inside this EPS, there is extensive channeling all throughout for ventilation. Up here in the very front, there are holes that line up directly with those intake vents. I want to get one of these and ride in it for sure, because this thing looks like it's really going to move a ton of air, which is something you don't always see with the price point stuff. With the price point stuff, they usually back off on the vents. It's a really important feature, and that can really motivate people to go to that next level to get more cooling. But with the K1, they just literally gave you all of it. The exhaust venting looks a little bit different than we see with the Corsa R or the Pista GPR. With that said, my expectations are still this is going to move a metric shit ton of air. Another important feature is the shape of the shell. You know, they've learned over the years that one of the common things that will break a collarbone in a motorcycle crash is your head hits the ground and it gets pushed over right into your collarbone. It's the ridge of the helmet oftentimes that will break the collarbone and not just the impact to your shoulder. So what they've done is they've started shaping their helmets like this to help prevent it from coming in contact with your collarbone. It doesn't have any structural effect on the helmet, but it can have some real benefit for you, you know, obviously in a crash. I think I've hit it pretty well. Any questions, comments, anything that I missed, because it does happen. It's quite a bit of information here. I answer all the YouTube comments. Just leave it in there, and I'll get to it. All in all, what do I think about this helmet? I really dig it. I think it's a tremendous value. It's right in that sweet spot where, you know, you invest that $200-ish, you can get yourself a really nice product to be super happy with. I'm Brian Van, SportbikeTrackGear.com.